everybody. Hope you're all having a great night. What about them game awards, huh? Same old stuff is going on, same old controversies, same old outrage, I get liking games, but, when people say, oh, our game was robbed or stuff like that, I don't know. I always think of what people said last year when Baldur's Gate 3 won over Spider-Man and all that. I had the same mentality that other people had that commented on that show, was that, it's alright to enjoy a game and be bummed that it didn't win, but when you act like you had a personal investment in the game's development, I gotta understand if you worked on it and you were a little disappointed that it didn't win. But acting like it straight up got robbed has always been a funny concept to me. It's there's no, you didn't work on this game. You didn't have, you played it. That's about it. That's why I tend not to I never get upset. Am I bummed that Final Fantasy XIV didn't win anything? Am I bummed that Silent Hill 2 didn't win anything? Am I upset that, am I bummed that Wuthering Waves didn't win anything? A little bit, but then again, the pickings this year just weren't as good as last year, or the year before that, really. But I'll go into that in a second, because I'm about to start here. So let's get the music turned off. Let's get this off. Whoops, black screen. There we go. Alright, what's up, everyone? So, yes, last night was the Game Awards. I was originally planning on reacting to them for the first time this year, but I was like, that's over 3 hours. Am I really ready for a 3-hour, almost 4-hour stream? And then the nominees got announced, and I was just like, I can't get excited for that, I just can't. And of course, almost everything that I voted for didn't win. I only voted for games that I actually played. I didn't vote in any categories where it was games I didn't play. Because, for Game of the Year, I think I voted for Final Fantasy VII. That's just because it was the only one out of the ones that were shown that I played. Because I'm not a platformer. I've told you guys that before, so I didn't vote for Astro Bot. Balatro I had actually not heard of until the Game Awards. Shadow of the Erdtree, as much as I love Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree shouldn't have been on there. I'm sorry. As much as I love Elden Ring, I just, no. What was the Atlas game that's made by the same, that's made by the ones that make Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei series. I've heard great things about that game, so I'm glad that a game like that was up for Game of the Year. And then the funny thing with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, yes, I voted for a remake, and I'm like, should a remake be up for Game of the Year? But then again, there's Silent Hill 2 remake, and it was absolutely amazing, and I would have voted for it. Funny thing, Silent Hill 2 remake did win Game of the Year at another award show. So, hey, that's great. But I'm not going to talk about the awards as much, because, we all saw it. Even though I didn't stream it, I still watched it. Because I wanted to see if I could sit here for over 3 hours, almost 4, and watch it and, not get bored. And it was actually over before I knew it. So, next year, I definitely will react to the Game Awards. I think 2025 is going to be a better year for games anyway. There's a lot of huge titles slated for 2025. So, we will see about that. I do want to say, for one, congrats to Astro Bot for winning Game of the Year. whenever a game like that is so good that it literally like transcends its genre, like if Mario wins Game of the Year, people expect it. It's Mario. It's Nintendo. But just a little game like that, based off the little Astrobot character that they've made, and seeing the developers' reactions when they won, the emotion, the tears, it's great to see because that's the people. Like, people should stop getting upset that their game didn't win an award when at the end of the day, if you win most of these awards, it's not like it really goes somewhere. Now, yes, winning Game of the Year is great. I think this is the one award show that most people watch. So yeah, it gets like it's kind of advertisement for these games as well. But I think gamers this day and age are really forgetting that the ones that you should really watch the Game Awards to praise, not really the publishers because of all the controversy this year about layoffs and all that, but the actual developers, the people who work on these games. Because, yes, we see games as forms of entertainment. Brittany, the moment he popped up, I screamed. Even though it had nothing to do with Metal Gear, it reminded me of Colossicon. So I was like, as soon as he came up, I was like, Jess, it's Kojima! It's Metal Gear! But, oh man, but yes, the Game Awards is supposed to be about the developers, the work they put into. Because even though we see games as a form of entertainment, it's not an easy job. I could only imagine. I love video games. I love tech and stuff like that, but that does not mean I'm qualified to do it. I know nothing about coding or anything like that. So my praise is always to developers who work hard. If you want to be mad at publishers like Square, like Ubisoft, EA, Capcom, all those, that's very well and good because yes, they do a lot of messed up things, especially to their studios, but the people who do the ground grunt work on these games, they should always get your undying support. And like I said, I think we have forgotten in a lot of ways that's what makes the Game Awards special. And thankfully this year they did allow the winners to give their speeches. They talked a lot about the layoffs and how it's a rough time for the gaming industry. They had a special award for an individual who was actually hiring developers who had been laid off, and so they could work and make a living. That was very heartwarming. That's what makes gaming and all this whole community special. And I think a lot of people, a little bit of selfishness in a lot of ways, forget that. And to me, at the end of the day, who cares what game got snubbed or didn't win? It's the people behind the games that we should definitely watch the show for and praise, even if the show in the past has kind of snubbed them themselves. But like I said, this year it was way better. There was not as many celebrities involved this time around. For some reason, we had Snoop Dogg performing. I think it was because he's in Fortnite now. I don't know. We had 21 Pilots performing. I believe they did the music from Arcane, which was actually pretty good. But the only really huge celebrity besides voice talent that was there was Harrison Ford for the Indiana Jones game. He was up on stage with Todd Howard and Troy Baker. So that was very well. Harrison gave his blessing to Troy, saying, hey, if I knew he was going to do it this good, I'd just done it myself. But it was kind of heartbreaking, though, because, man, Harrison Ford is getting old. And you can just tell that he's probably looking at retirement very, very soon, if not now. But that was very special. So yes, very, very small amount of celebrities. Harrison Ford, I think, was definitely the biggest. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into the awards. That's all out there for people to go over. What I want to talk about, though, like I said, I did want to give a congratulatory clap to Astrobot for winning Game of the Year. Um, and it's kind of funny how it shows like how years are so much different. We had a game like Elden Ring the year before win Game of the Year, and then a game like Baldur's Gate 3 win last year, which Baldur's Gate 3 still won an award, Best Community Support. So last year's Game of the Year won another award this year. And then have a cute little platformer that has been praised for its gameplay for ever since it was released, win Game of the Year. So, it's almost like the year when It Takes Two won Game of the Year. It doesn't always have to be a AAA, realistic, cinematic AAA RPG or any other kind of game that wins. So, yeah, but I'm looking forward to next year because, like I said, there's a lot of big games coming out next year. But what I want to talk about is the announcements. And a lot of people do not like the announcements. They think that it takes away from the award show. But really, if you think about it, if they took away the world premieres, the Game Awards would be a very, very short show. And they kind of treat the Game Awards almost like how E3 used to be in a lot of ways. So personally, for someone who grew up with E3 every summer, like that was my one thing I enjoyed doing every summer once school was over, was watching E3. I don't mind it in a lot of ways. But so, of course, there's some titles that I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. But, like I said, I thought for fun, we could go over this, decided that it would be like a stream instead of doing just like a regular video, because, I'd rather just stream it. But like I said, already, next year, I will be doing a live reaction to the Game Awards. Maybe if we have a better setup by then, maybe Jess can be in on it with me, because there was a game in this that she popped for, big time, and we'll get to it. But yeah, like, I really wasn't sure I was going to watch them, because like I said, the nominations kind of just turned me off a little bit, but I was like, why not? Like, it's the thing everybody's going to be talking about, and who knows, we may get some huge world premiere trailers, and we did. So these are not going to be in order. I found a website that's listed all the games, and like I said, they're not in the order that they were announced, but that's kind of good, because there's one that was like the first one they showed off that I want to talk about the most here in a sec. But the first game was Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, a new game in the Ninja Gaiden series. Now, of course, a series that I never really got much into, but a very popular one nonetheless. I'm going to read a little bit of what it says here about this new title. From the acclaimed team behind Blasphemous, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound successfully unites the classic lore and gameplay of the Tecmo-developed, now Koei Tecmo Ninja Gaiden series from the 8-bit era with the depth and intensity of the modern 3D entry. So they're pretty much combining two different eras of this series into one game. I'm not going to read everything that they've got read here. But moving on, then we have One Move Away. Now, actually, when I saw this game, I immediately thought of Jess, because whenever we go on a long trip that has a lot of luggage, Jess is the Tetris master when it comes to putting luggage into a car. Whenever we go on a trip, I just say, have at it, because I'm not good at it at all. And it's called One Move Away. It is a cozy first-person puzzle game where you pack your belongings for another move and embark on a new chapter in life. With each move, you step into the lives of 3 unique characters, uncovering their personal stories through the items they take with them or leave behind. So yeah, it is pretty much like packing your car and all that, and making sure everything fits and everything goes right. So yeah, it's kind of a packing your car Tetris game in a way. The next game is Slay the Spire 2. The iconic roguelike deck builder returns. Craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, and discover relics of immense power in Slay the Spire 2. Return to the Spire and face friends and foes in the sequel to the quintessential roguelike deck builder. How high will you ascend, and what truths lie at the top? And then we have what is a very popular game, Dave the Diver in the Jungle. Welcome to the jungle! Unseen mysteries, untold secrets. Join Dave and his friends in this new DLC as they explore a whole new world. A whole new world right in the jungle. Someone really needs to take this game and combine a whole new world with Welcome to the Jungle and see what kind of masterpiece they can come up with. A new story unfolds as the Blue Hole gang gathers together for yet another adventure, coming in late 2025. So if you're looking forward to the next Dave the Diver DLC, you've got a little bit to wait. It won't be coming out until probably around this time next year. Well, yeah, late, so yeah, December, more than likely. Thick as Thieves. Set in an alternate history metropolis where technology clashes with magic, Thick as Thieves immerses you in a complex, detailed world of glittering wealth, a thriving criminal underclass, and a touch of magic. So when I saw this, it kind of looked like your standard multiplayer, maybe like a battle royale, I don't know, but like you're planning a theft, pretty much, and you've got to infiltrate and escape, I'm guessing without getting caught. I would be awful at this game because I am not good at stealth games. You can ask my friend Brittany. She has been trying to get me to play the Metal Gear series for a long, long time, and I have told her time and time again, I don't do stealth. I am awful at stealth. You guys know from watching me play horror games, if there is a stealth section, I do the worst at those parts. So, but yes, it looked kind of like it is more of a multiplayer, co-op kind of game. Next, we have Shadow Labyrinth. It is a 2D action platformer and a genre-twisting alternate take on the iconic Pac-Man. As the swordsman, you wake on a mysterious planet amidst relics of wars past. To survive, you will discover secrets, consume your enemies, and grow from prey to apex predator. So yeah, it is pretty much a whole new take on Pac-Man without calling it Pac-Man. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's pretty much a Pac-Man style game. There was another one called Steel Paws, but as of right now, the studio behind the game has not really given any information on it after it was announced. So we're going to have to wait on that one if you were interested in that game. Tales of the Shire. That's a really weird title. Tales of the Shire, The Lord of the Rings game. I'm pretty sure it'll just be called A Lord of the Rings game. I remember seeing some stuff about this earlier in the year. Embark on a cozy adventure in Tales of the Shire, where you experience the quiet life of a hobbit in J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. Begin by creating your unique hobbit avatar, choosing from a variety of very hobbit-specific features to express yourself, including foot hairstyles and personality moods that bring your character to life. I gotta say, for guys like me who don't have a shortage of hair, we kind of are like real life hobbits in a way because we have hair on our feet. Okay, that's enough. And perhaps your hobbit is a friendly soul with fiery red hair, a cute button nose, and bright green eyes, or maybe your hobbit is more of a Sackville curmudgeon with a broad nose and balding hair. I feel attacked on that because sadly my hair is thinning a little bit on the top. I don't like that at all. The choice is yours. Then set out to make your home in sleepy Bywater and enjoy the simple pleasures of life in the Shire. Simple pleasures, huh? Whoever wrote this, do they not see what happens to hobbits in the Lord of the Rings books? It's not simple. It's not simple at all. It's actually pretty traumatizing. Yeah. PTSD, missing fingers, long life injuries. Yeah, it's not a good time. What's wrong with you people? Seriously. Next, we have Stealthcraft X Operation. Studio behind this game decided not to release any information as of yet. So, yeah, we do not have much on that. Midnight Murder Club. In the unique pitch-black gameplay has players slowly creeping through the inky darkness of an old Victorian mansion, armed with only a flashlight and a revolver, trying to complete their mission and survive. As they navigate through the dark hallways, they must keep an eye out for the other club members who might be hiding in the shadows. More than willing to kill to be the last one standing, Midnight Murder Club is a new heart-pounding and hilarious first-person shooter party game for friends. That will be a very popular game on Twitch. I guarantee it. I can already see the girls from V Shoujo playing it. The next game is Kyora. I think that's how you pronounce it. Cross into a realm of ruins where every pixel is a tool to create something new. Mine precious resources, craft physics-altering wands, take on powerful bosses, and build your base by terraforming the world around you. Journey into the unexpected. In a procedurally generated open world, oh boy, those are almost fun. Carve in the earth or sculpt toward the sky in search of magical materials. Kind of sounds like a Minecraft clone a little bit. We'll see. Rematch. Control one player of your team and complete in fast-paced 5 versus 5 matches from an immersive third-person perspective. Team up with your friends and join the action. That's literally all they gave us. Next, we have Solasta 2. Decades after the events of Solasta Crown of the Magister, Solasta 2 transports players to the vibrant high fantasy realm of Nakos, a land of breathtaking beauty, teetering on the edge of ruin at the hands of Shadwin, an all-powerful being brought to life by Amelia Tyler, and also a world of Neko catgirls. I made that part up. As what? The place is called Nakos. Like, I had to. As her endless tide of corruption spreads across the continent, I'm sorry, but the name of the villain is Amelia Tyler. Not a very threatening name, but okay. A band of valiant adventurers rise to the challenge while navigating towering landscapes to contending with political factions vying for power and fight fearsome foes. Boy, that sounds familiar. Players must make wise decisions to end an ancient feud before it engulfs the lands in bloodshed and strife. Okay, a lot more serious than I thought it was going to be. But, there you go. Okay, the next game on the list I am going to wait on. Okay, here is where we get one of the big titles. Elden Ring. Night Rain. And I gotta say, like, I do not know what's going on with From Software. Like, they say that there's not going to be any more DLC after Shadow of the Erdtree. So they just created a whole other game, but it's not Elden Ring 2 or anything like that. So I was a little confused by this. Players take on the night together in an all-new experience from the team at From Software. This will be a multiplayer-focused return to Roundtable Hold set in a universe parallel to the events of Elden Ring. Players must choose from 8 unique characters, each with their own unique abilities and powerful ultimates. Their journeys take them to Limveld, an ever-changing map where they will have to make split-second decisions when it comes to combat and exploration in the face of a night cycle that shrinks the map with the coming night's tide. At the end of each night, players will face a powerful boss, and if victorious, awaken to bigger challenges. Each session will culminate in the third night when they must face off against the chosen Night Lord. Individuals can fight the night alone, but strength will come in numbers. Nightfarers must learn to cooperate to take down these challenges, combining their unique abilities together for an unparalleled experience in the Elden Ring universe. All is not lost for those who fail to defeat Unsuccessful runs will grant players relics to allow them to customize and upgrade their characters, tailored to their personal play style. So, you can play it solo, but I don't know. Like, this... It's such an odd choice, if you ask me. Like, maybe they just didn't want to create a DLC that was multiplayer focused. But, I mean, they could have done that. This could have... Like, I don't know. Depending on how big it is and all that, like, this sounds like it could have been a DLC instead of just a standalone game. I don't know. I'm kind of weirded out by this. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know how much of a opinion I have on that. Okay, this is one game that I thought looked like something that'd be up Jess's alley. Catly. Catly is an interactive adventure starring beautiful and hyper-realistic cats, coming to Steam, Nintendo Switch, and Apple Watch, because everyone deserves a cat anywhere, anytime. The game is a love letter to cats, made for cat lovers by cat lovers. Every encounter celebrates cat mannerisms that showcases cats' playfulness, grace, coziness, and of course, mischief. Catly is about... I'm thinking about our cat right now. Is about authentic companionship and empowering cats to accomplish feats that cat lovers normally can only dream of. Solo and multiplayer adventures and quests are full of thrilling exploration and world crafting with endearing, stylish cat companions. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it? Next, we have an untitled game by Fumito Ueda. So this is going to be made by the same team that created Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. So it's probably going to be a while before we see this game. They don't really... All we know is what we saw in the trailer. There's no like other information about it. It doesn't even have a title yet. So yeah, it's going to be a while before. Remember how long it took The Last Guardian? Like, seriously. That was originally supposed to be a PS3 game. It didn't come out until the PS4. Yeah, we're going to be waiting a while. Alright, kind of a big surprise with this one. The Outer Worlds 2 is the eagerly awaited sequel to the award-winning first-person sci-fi RPG from Obsidian. Just look at the exciting number of dashes in this sentence. Time to clear your calendar. Get ready for an action-packed adventure with a new crew, new weapons, new enemies, and a new colony. So much newness. As a daring and most likely good-looking Earth... okay. Good-looking, huh? You must uncover the source of devastating rifts threatening to destroy all of humanity. I'm kind of surprised by this because a lot of people... Like, they enjoyed The Outer Worlds, but I heard a lot of people say that it was kind of mid in a little bit. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's made by Obsidian, but if you're hoping for a game that reminds you of Fallout New Vegas, just play Fallout New Vegas. But I don't know. Like, I never finished the first one, and I'm guessing since now Obsidian is owned by Xbox, it will more likely just be a PC and Xbox title. Unless Xbox keeps on putting their games on other systems, we'll have to see. Civilization, I think that's 7. Your strategic decisions shape the unique cultural lineage of your evolving empire. Rule as one of the many legendary leaders from throughout the history and steer the course of your story by choosing a new civilization to represent your empire and early age of human advancement. So, yeah, like, it's going to be what you expect from Civilization games. Not much else I can say on that because I don't play the series. But yeah, that is... Oh, I just now saw Brittany's comments because my phone's not updating the chat. Okay. Still wants me to play on metal. Next, we have a very interesting game that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Split Fiction. In Split Fiction, players will discover a variety of sci-fi and fantasy mechanics and abilities. Escape a sun that's going supernova. Challenge a monkey to a dance battle. Try out some cool hoverboard tricks, fight an evil kitty, and ride everything from gravity bikes to a sand shark. With worlds that are entirely different from each other, surprising challenges await players at every turn. Mio and Zoe are contrasting riders, one of sci-fi and the other of fantasy, who become trapped in their own stories after being hooked up to a machine designed to steal their creative ideas. Yeah, it's that kind of game. Kind of like a little bit of social commentary going there, I think. The next game is Frag Punk, which is a fast-paced 5 versus 5 hero shooter. Okay, we kind of expect what kind of game that'll be. With power-up cards that change the rules of each round. Choose your hero, your weapons, and pick from a selection of cards that dramatically change the rules of engagement. So yeah, like it's kind of 5 versus 5. Pick characters, fight, and yell at each other, scream at each other, say stuff about each other's moms, stuff like that. And, since I don't play Overwatch, I can't really say if that's what it kind of is, though I don't know. But that's what kind of reminds me of. It's an always online 5 versus 5 hero shooter. Yeah, that's pretty much what Overwatch is in a lot of ways, except this one has a card. This has a card mechanic, so that'll be interesting. Once again, probably another really popular game on Twitch when it comes out. Next, we have Steel Hunters. Set in a futuristic world, Steel Hunters tells the story of humanity's fight for survival following a catastrophic event. Boy, that sounds familiar. To secure a rare extraterrestrial resource called Starfall, hunters were created in their clash for dominance. Okay. Each hunter comes with its own distinct playstyle, unique ability kits, and progression systems that allow for a variety of strategy and tactics to outmatch opponents as they push toward the final showdown at the extraction point. So it kind of sounds like maybe a capture the flag, like kind of like it's a race. Like you're fighting each other, but it's a race to get there. Black Frost, The Long Dark 2. A year after the Aurora's appearance and the world went dark, the people of Harmont and its vast, wild environs? Why don't I just say environments? Struggled to survive the quiet apocalypse, survive alone or with others against a host of new hazards, and a fresh new survival sandbox from a pioneer of the genre. Live together, die alone. So yeah, okay, it's kind of like DayZ or something like that, but it was called. Like, it's pretty much a post-apocalyptic sandbox game where you gather resources, probably build stuff, and try and survive. The next big title, Borderlands 4. Now, I know, it's kind of sad because I do like Borderlands. I did like it more back in its early days. It seems like with 3, Borderlands, as far as popularity goes, kind of fell off. The stinker that was the Borderlands movie didn't help it at all either. I think that's why they announced it originally when they did, was trying to help boost the views for the movie, but that didn't go very well. I think that is the fastest movie to ever go from theaters to streaming as quickly as it did. Borderlands 4 is the most ambitious Borderlands to date, lovingly handcrafted by the development studio that first forged the looter-shooter genre. The title involves the series' gameplay and storytelling in new ways while delivering on the quintessential Borderlands experience fans know and love. Pretty much a lot of guns, a lot of loot, fight bosses over and over. Then we have a crossover of Tekken 8 and Final Fantasy 16. So Clive is going to be a guest character in Tekken 8. This marks the 4th DLC playable character since the game's launch in January, rounding out the thrilling lineup for its debut season. In addition to Clive, the new battle stage, Phoenix Gate, is also introduced in Tekken 8. So yeah, pretty much Clive is getting added to Tekken 8, along with a stage from Final Fantasy 16. So, there you go. Splitgate 2, fast-paced first-person combat and portal hopping movement are back in Splitgate 2, so it's pretty much Portal at that point. Except this is a combat one, where Portal was more of a puzzle game in a way. The sequel to the acclaimed 2021 smash hit, bringing players the best gameplay, guns, and portals in the genre. Let's move on. Mecha Break. Mecha Break puts players in the pilot seat of their own customized mechs as they dive into a clash of steel and plasma, unlike any others. So it's not Gundam, but it's a mech game, you know. Here we go. Featuring mech designs from esteemed artist Takayuki Yanase, who did designs for Metal Gear, Gundam, Armored Core, and Death Stranding, and also Junya Ishigaki, who did Xenogears, Gundam, and Macross. So, two big names in this game as far as who designed the mech suits. So, that's definitely something to draw people's attention. I wonder if there'll be any Easter eggs from either of those series in the game. 3 versus 3 arena, 6 versus 6 battlefield, and up to 60 player PvE VP game mode. So yeah, there's a lot of multiplayer going on in this game. Also a new Virtua Fighter. Man, how long has it been since Virtua Fighter had a new entry? Virtua Fighter 5 Revo takes the gameplay of Virtua Fighter 5 and raises it to new levels. Roll Black netcode support, gorgeous 4K visuals, and additional content make it the best version of this legendary game ever. It's quite the statement. Then we had a game called Project Century, but they have not released anything at this time really about it. Oh, now this was big. I did not expect this. Turok Origins. When is the last time we had a Turok game? Was it the awful one that came out on the PS3? Was that the last Turok game? I don't remember, but the game was not very good at all. So yeah, if that was the last one, we've not had a good console Turok game since the PS3. So yeah, Turok Origin revives the legendary game franchise action and spirit while bringing it forward into the modern era with a completely new look, story, and gameplay. Players will take on the role of fierce Turok warriors to face off against ferocious dinosaurs and a terrifying alien threat that seeks to destroy all life in the galaxy. So, yeah, there you go. Pretty much walk around the jungle, shoot at dinosaurs, and you've also got to worry about aliens. So then we got Helldivers 2, Omens of Tyranny. Pretty much a new update. These are dark times for freedom-loving citizens everywhere. Our galaxy grows cold from the embrace of old enemies returning in the dark and darkens with the threat of new horrors emerging. I don't know much about Helldivers since it's not my kind of game, but it did very well. It's still pretty popular and it won a lot of awards at the Game Awards. So yeah, I'm sure Helldivers players are happy with that. Warframe 1999. Enter a brand new era of Warframe by traveling back to Earth in 1999 and discovering a grungy alternate world littered with secrets. Narratively team up with a cast of 6 different iconic proto-frames in order to track down Dr. Intrati before the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve. Oh boy, are we revisiting Y2K here? Another big surprise. Pale World, Fey Break. Whoever wrote this had to mention Pale World is currently being sued by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Oh man. So who knows how long the game will be around. New content arrives on December 23rd. Enjoy it while you can. Oh my gosh. The fact that game is available on PlayStation and I think Xbox as well, I bet Nintendo is pissed. They're probably even more pissed that they showed the trailer for this at the Game Awards. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's why Nintendo didn't win any, like, really win any awards. They got up and walked out the moment they showed this trailer. Oh man, that was. That. Oh man. Now, I think it's funny. They've got Wuthering Waves on here, like, but all they did was show a quick trailer for Resetia. That was about it. So pretty much all it says here is pretty much the basics of the game. It's a gacha game, free to play, cross-platform, open world. But yeah, it doesn't really talk about 2.0 or anything like that, or the fact that it's coming to PlayStation 5 at the beginning of January. It's just, this is the name of the game, this is what it's about. Another surprise, Omnimusha, Way of the Sword. How long has it been since we've had one of those games? Takes place in Kyoto during the early Edo period. It is the time of relative peace of Japan. Malice has befallen the ancient city, twisted into an eerie and unsettling place. Kyoto has been infested by the demonic Genma. And the debut trailer, a lone samurai armed with the Oni gauntlet engages in fierce, blood-soaked sword fights with these hellish creatures from another world. So yeah, there you go. You got the first Berserker, Kazan. Is a hardcore action RPG based on the Dungeon Fighter online universe. Nexon's flagship IP with more than 800 million players worldwide. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. Not going to go too much into it just because I don't know much about it. Dungeon and Fighter, Arad. It's a brand new title developed by Nexon Games and published by Nexon Korea for PC, mobile, and console. It's an open-world action-adventure RPG utilizing the Dungeon and Fighter IP, which boasts over 850 million players worldwide, and expands upon the Dungeon and Fighter universe with an appealing new narrative never before seen in the series. Okay, sounds kind of interesting. Another surprise, Dying Light. Didn't expect something new from Dying Light. The Beast. Meet the Baron, an emotionless, calculating, but brilliant scientist. Brace yourself to encounter the biggest threat Kyle Crane has ever faced, the man who brutally experimented on him for over a decade. Then it goes into all the story about it. Like, I tried the original Dying Light. Like, it was fun, but I don't know. It didn't hold my attention like most zombie games. So, yeah, there's that. I'm going to go through these a little bit faster because there's still a lot. We got Showdown 1896. Post Malone's Murder Circus. Yeah, I forgot Post Malone showed up. It's kind of like theft, kidnapping, fraud, and murder were all on the bill along with the regular circus acts, and soon the circus was left to play venues where the audience weren't so picky or so moral. Squid Game Unleashed. I'm guessing it's either like a new whole game in the Squid Game series or an add-on or something like that. You have Stage Fright, which comes from the creators of Overcooked. Solving escape rooms, overcome fiendish obstacles, and unravel an ancient mystery. Game of Thrones, King's Road. It's a Game of Thrones game. It's a Game of Thrones game. Nothing more to it. Monster Hunter Now, Season 4. Pretty much a new update for Monster Hunter Now. Double Dragon Revive. Yeah. Players will find modern belt scroll action and exhilarating gameplay. Both longtime fans and newcomers to the series will... Yeah, pretty much it's an old style beat 'em up. Well, not really a beat 'em up, but it's a new game to look retro. Solo Leveling, Arise, webtoon with 14.3 billion views, will make its first appearance as an action RPG. Someone else trying to play as Jin Woo and experience the journey yourself. If you're a Solo Leveling fan, you finally got a game here. Screamer, embracing the trailblazing spirit of the original milestone has reimaged its most iconic IP, combining over 30 years of expertise. High octane arcade action. Okay. The clash between personal desire. I don't remember this game. I don't remember seeing this one. So I'll have to look more into that. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming to the PC. Den of Wolves is a co-op heist first-person shooter from the creator of Payday, the Heist, Payday 2, and GTFO. Now this is funny. Zenless Zone Zero. Hoyoverse decided not to release any information about it at the time it was announced. And it says pretty much they showed a trailer for Zenless Zone Zero that it's just pretty much showing some future story that's coming up. Two new characters. That's about it. It was to show off an eventual new update. Honkai Star Rail version 3.0. Decide not to release any information. If you're a Honkai Star Rail player like me, you know what version 3.0 is going to be bringing. So yeah, there's no need to really go into that. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Sega decided not to give any information. Mafia: The Old Country and introduces a new original protagonist for players to embody. Enzio. That sounds familiar. Story unfolds in a time when skill with a stiletto blade was a deadly asset. Pretty much, it's a new Mafia game. That's pretty much what it is. They showed off Infinity Nikki, which that is out by now, so we know all about that. They showed off Dispatch, which is a cartoony game where they say choice matters. We'll see about that. Killing Floor 3 was announced. Killing Floor 3 is the next installment in the legendary co-op action horror first-person shooter series. Crimson Desert. Now, hold on. I don't remember this. Follows a group of struggling mercenaries and the many characters who cross their paths in a vast continent of Pywell. This is I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to have to look into that. Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. This is Naughty Dog's new game. Set thousands of years in the future, Intergalactic puts players in the role of Jordan A. Munn, a dangerous bounty hunter who ends up stranded on Samphira, a distant planet whose communication with the outside universe went dark hundreds of years ago. Jordan will have to use all her skills and wits if she hopes to be the first person in over 600 years to leave its orbit. I think a lot of people were hoping for maybe a teaser of Last of Us 3 or something like that, and so it got a little lukewarm reception. All right, to the big ones. First up, Okami is finally getting a sequel. This is the game that made Jess literally get up out of her seat and actually made a noise. Now of course our friend Brittany actually does what'd she call it? How'd she say she does it? Because it's not a full suit. I'm sure she'll remind me in the chat. But pretty much Brittany cosplays that. What's the name of the wolf again?
Okami, but they call her Ami.
Okay, so her name's Okami, but they call her Ami. Okay, she kind of does a half furry cosplay, not pretty much. She's got the head. I think the
head, paw, tails, and feet.
Head, paws, tails, and feet. Doesn't have the full body. So she introduced a partial fursuit. That's what it's called. And she introduced this game to Jess, and we all know that Okami was re-released on the PS4. Jess has not beat it yet, but she very, very much enjoys this game. And Her full name is Amaterasu. Okay. Amaterasu. Okay. So released in 2006, the critically acclaimed Okami won the hearts of players around the world. Today at the Game Awards 2024, and to the surprise and delight of viewers from around the world, Capcom announced that this classic action-adventure series has a brand new title in the works. Hideki Kamiya, director of the beloved original Okami, returns as director for this new Okami project, which is being co-developed among multiple studios that include various staff members of the original Okami, including M2 Inc., Machine Head Works Inc., and Clovers Inc., the last of which, Hideki Kamiya, is a member of. End. How'd you say you pronounced it, Jess? Amaterasu and friends will return for another heartwarming story packed with thrilling adventures in a unique Japanese-style setting. What will be their next adventure be like? It will be some time before we have more to share, but the entire development team hopes that fans and newcomers alike look forward to this project. According to this, Kamiya is back, so... and that's been a while ago. It's 2006. Like, that was... Do you even have a copy of it on PS2?
No.
I need to get you a PS2 copy. Oh, yeah, and Brittany wants y'all to know that her bathroom is pretty much a shrine to Okami.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But yes, that was a very big surprise. I did not... Even someone who has not played the game themselves... That was a big shock. I remember when that game first came out, and I remember when it got re-released on PlayStation 4, and that was considered a big deal. So yeah, Okami getting a sequel is big news. I think other than that, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got its PC release announced. Am I forgetting anything? I want to make sure I didn't look over anything on this list. I know I didn't go over some as much as the others, but this stream would be way longer than I want it to be if I did. Okay, I think I got everything except the one I wanted to end on. And you all know what that is. So yeah. So yes, The Witcher 4 got officially announced. I almost wanted to do a video just solely about this announcement, but I decided, maybe when we have a little bit more information, we can do it that way. But I'm excited. Okay, so I gotta go tell a little bit of a story here real quick. So, I never got to play the original Witcher because it was on the PC, and it came out when, I sure as heck didn't have a gaming PC. There was not that many people who did have gaming PCs in this area. They were supposed to have originally made a Xbox 360 port, I believe, and it never happened. Though it is widely technically kind of known that one of the other Witcher projects at CD Projekt Red is more than likely a remake of The Witcher 1. So now all we need them to do is make the Assassins of Kings more available. I think you can play it on Steam. I think you can play it on Game Pass, but 3 is on the PlayStation. The remake will be on PlayStation. 4 will be on the PlayStation. So they kind of need to release the second game on PlayStation. But sadly, the only game in the Witcher series that I have played was The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings. I played it on the Xbox 360 back when it first came out, and I really enjoyed that game. I played it and beat it several times. I really enjoyed it. And by the time that I was finally done with it, I was looking very much forward to The Witcher 3. But The Witcher 3 took a while to come out after the second one. And by the time The Witcher 3 did come out, my taste in games kind of had changed. Like, I still like open world RPGs, but that is when I had decided that I preferred to play as female characters. I preferred female protagonists. Um, Not to say that I've not sometimes gotten the itch to play The Witcher 3. It's just that as of right now, I don't have the time to really delve into a huge, long, open world RPG. Maybe before 4 comes out, maybe I'll finally play it. Who knows? Um, but yes, The Witcher 4 is official, and it's finally officially confirmed that yes, Ciri will be the main protagonist. This is going to be the start of a whole new trilogy where she will be the main protagonist, and it'll detail her story of going from an inexperienced Witcher to an experienced one. And I can't wait because the trailer already looked really, really good. And I really did not expect it to be as long as it was. But it gave off like it's gonna be dark. Like it's like The Witcher is already kind of dark already, but they've already set the tone for a dark fantasy themed world, and I hope it doesn't take as long as The Witcher 3 did or Cyberpunk, but I do want them to take their time. We do not need another Cyberpunk release happening, though I do think, now that Cyberpunk is in the state that it should have been in when it released, I think we do need to quit dwelling on that and to move on a little bit after that, because, it was almost 5 years ago. But we have to remember also, CD Projekt Red is not going to be handcuffed to trying to make this game work on older hardware. I still think that Cyberpunk's launch would have went better if they had just abandoned the PS4 and Xbox One versions and just focused on PC and PS5 and Xbox Series X. I just think it would have went better for them. Now, thankfully, a lot of us who already had PS5s when it came out didn't experience as many glitches as the original had. Because when I went ahead and got my game day one, I pre-ordered it, and I didn't run into a whole lot of glitches, but because the PS5 ran it just fine. But boy, was it not in the state it should have been in. Cyberpunk now is actually considered one of the best games out there now. That's the wild thing, and they're about to release another update for it. I think update number 8 or something like that. That's going to add a whole lot of new stuff. But yes, I might do a more in-depth video on The Witcher 4 when we get a little bit more info. But yeah, no release date, of course, but it looked amazing. So, but yeah, that is all I really got to say about the Game Awards. Like I said, I wasn't going to dwell too much on... whoops, I accidentally exited that out. I'm not going to dwell too much on who won what and who did this, stuff like that. I really enjoyed the announcements this year, and like I said, I do think the Game Awards did a better job this year. They didn't cut people off. They focused more on the games. They focused more on the developers and things that have been going on in the industry. So that was good. There's still some things they could tweak, but that'll hopefully come with more info. And thank goodness Fluke Guy returned and he delivered like he always does. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream there. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment, and all that good stuff. As always, guys, this is Cannan. Me and Jess love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.